But I'm still setting up the other shit. So, can any of you guys go into Twitch and make sure that everything is looking good for the? Oh, it looks like it. My cell phone gave me the prompt. Alright, so we got everybody so far. Okay, let me take a look. Alright, so are we gonna have any background noise that I need to be made aware of before going forward?
I saw him run up in here or something, but
Alright. Yeah, I'm almost ready. I just have to get the background music set up.
I'll put my phone on
Excuse me. I had a burp.
silent.
You know, that's cool. Alright, playlist. This is what they don't know that we have to go through. It's all the setup and the bullshit. Alright, so with that, BG. Alright, so yeah, almost ready, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, so guys, my mic wasn't working.
Alright, hey, good thing I was starting late. I was like, what the heck? Where is everybody? Alright.
FYI, I'm in LA starting tomorrow.
Oh wow, for
wow.
work.
What you doing in LA?
Huh? Work.
What you doing in LA?
Work.
What type of work?
IT work.
Oh. I want your job.
Are you going Are you permanent or?
No,
you,
no, God no. I'm in Vegas.
We would have known about that. Yeah, me.
Yeah, since just FYI, guys, I will be on 2 missions
Okay.
next month, the 11th through the 15th. I'll be in Germany, and then from the 21st to the 28th, I'll be in South America.
Damn, he's gonna be chilling with Blanca. What the heck?
Blanca, yep, that's right.
How do I get that? How do I get on that South America trip?
Yeah, bro, you don't want to come. No, yes, you do. It's a cool trip going to Bogota, Lima, and Costa Rica.
It's going to Peru.
Damn. The females gonna be out there crazy.
What the heck? Unbelievable. This guy. That's the first thing he said, females. What?
Hey, man, it's the truth, bro.
All right. So let me make sure that the audio levels are good. Because I don't want it too loud that I can't hear myself. Think so. All right. So I got the music up. All right. So guys, are we all ready?
Yeah.
We gotta do a DX style. Are you ready? Let me stop. All right. So the topics are in. Oh, actually, I gotta put the trailer. Did I put the Street Fighter trailer in the Discord with the modes and stuff? Probably not. All right. So we're good. We're good. All right. So we're gonna start this one right here. All right. So guys, we're gonna start the local recording in 3.
Are you not?
What happened? What? Why come? How come?
What?
Why come? That you knew what the hell I was saying. Wait a minute.
What's up, Noob?
Unbelievable. Yo, this smart brother just show up out of nowhere.
I've been here for like 20 minutes.
You see, when people are people are as black as Noob, you know, you only see eyes and teeth like.
You know what? Stop it.
And not only that, he looks like the and he looked like the dragon from what was that? How to Train Your Dragon? Toothless? Yo, that black ass dragon.
Oh, you gonna take that, man? Come on, dude. Shots fired. Shots fired.
Alex is the people walking around with lipstick on. He can't say anything to me right now.
Why are you going on my Facebook?
What?
Wait, no, you see,
My timeline.
my girlfriend did that. She thought it might be fun.
Don't blame her. Don't blame her.
Exactly.
They're clowning me for the lipstick thing that we put on Facebook.
I did that because I was bored.
Yeah, you're bored. So, yeah, now they're clowning me. Thank you.
You asked them anytime.
I love you, baby. All right. So, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. We're gonna start the recording in 3, 2, 1. What's going on? New Game in Order. This is Alex Lexus coming at you like the Juggernaut, hitting you with the head crush. We have a lot of returning staff members today, so hopefully all is good with quick intros. So let's get this off and popping. So we have, let me pull up the list. Demizzle, what's going on, man? Mr. Free Play Mode. What you been playing? I know you and I have been hitting up that Street Fighter 5 beta pretty hard, but just quick intro so we can get things moving along.
You said it. That's all I've been playing for the past couple of days because I have a way on top of the normal way. And if you see me online,
You're welcome, Dave.
The fighter ID is Demizzle for Rizzle. So if you see me fighting, if you see that fighter ID, that's who you're playing. You're playing me. So you might end up on an episode of the low tier battles because I will be doing those all week long. First episode I went 5-2, so that wasn't too bad. So stay tuned for more.
All right. Mr. Kasemi, Mr. Returning Man, like somebody popped up at the Royal Rumble. What's going on, man? How you been? How's life treating you?
Man, what's going on, y'all? It's good to be back, man. Happy New Year, y'all. It's still January, so I can say that. So, man, but it's good to be back, man. Since the New Year done started, I done been playing games from last year that I ain't, get a chance to play, like Dying Light, beat Dying Light, loved it. Until Dawn, beat that, loved it.
Okay.
Just recently played Tomb Raider, the first Tomb Raider Definitive Edition again. It was $7.50 on PSN, so I was like, "Fuck it, I gotta do it."
Wasn't it such a good game?
It was a great game, so
man.
It's definitely enticing me to go ahead and buy the Rise of Tomb Raider, but it's not cheap enough for me yet. I'm gonna wait until they get.
It's worth every penny. It's worth every penny.
Everybody's saying that. Everybody's saying that.
Said it's worth a couple of Henry.
I said, unbelievable. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, go ahead.
That, man, I also been playing that.
Tentacuma, that's you.
Yes. What do you want?
Newbane been on in so long, he don't know who people is anymore.
Takuma, whatever you're doing in the background, we can hear it.
All right.
No, I'm playing Street Fighter. Shut up.
All right. Well, as a matter of fact, let me give Goken the floor for his intro. Cuz, what you doing? I know you're out and about at the moment. Those who are watching the director's cut, you got beef with Goken. What? All right. Hey, we'll have at it. We'll have at it in a bit. But yeah, Goken, what you up to these days?
A lot of cloud implementation stuff. That's all. I'm not playing video games. I'm doing IT work. Really annoying. So I'll be gone in LA, some more IT work, and then Vegas, some more IT work. That's all I'm doing.
All right. New game in order. I will have you know, on your knees, and Goken, we're playing me in Guilty Gear Xrd, and it was interesting. And
it was my first thing with first week with an arcade stick.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm waiting for the audio so I can sync it for your unboxing video.
You'll have it soon.
All right, cool. Because I want that stick. That stick is dope. The good stuff. I'm the arcade stick, y'all ruffians. Even my girl is just like, stick. I'm like, what the heck?
I just got it.
What the heck?
Oh my goodness.
But I will say that on your knees, Goken stepped up to the plate, and Demizzle, I had to put you on blast. I got my revenge, and I'm telling you, your soul will never beat my Kai again. I'm calling you out. Friday Night Fights rematch. Let's do this, baby. Because
we could do it right now.
Hey, you know what? All right, he called me out. But I will say, I will readily admit, like, I had to get used to the system. I got blown up. I lost 2 in a row, but then I turned the tires real quick. And Goken even was fighting me, like, but I was already warmed up, so it wasn't really fair to him. But I want to do another.
I was just using the stick for the first time.
Yeah, so yeah, that wasn't too fair. Then on your knees, we're gonna try and get the connection issue fixed with that. But you know, it was fun nonetheless. So
buy better internet on your knees.
All right.
Oh damn.
Okay. Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. Smart brother. Nuke. What's going on, man? You know what? We have to roast him because he hasn't been on the show in a minute, so we have to get him. Well, what's going on, Nuke?
On the last podcast.
You missed a lot of shows. I'm just saying. Well, no, you had to leave like abruptly, and it just kind of got jacked up. But
Funny. But everything's good. Kind of, sorta. I'll be moving in a couple months. I'll be out, yo.
he's grooving.
Shut up.
Different state or just?
No, same state. But other than that, everything's good, man. About to file these taxes and get this money.
That shit is done.
You mean give that money?
Well, I just got my W-2, so I gotta go to HR Block.
My LLC is gonna get me some money. I'm gonna get a return this year.
Yo, just do TurboTax. Yo. You don't need to go to no H&R Block.
Man, I get military discount, bro.
See, people.
Yeah, they ask you that. They listen when you guys. Just a quick PSA. Taxes are not that difficult if you don't have a lot of stuff. If you're not an investor, you're not, you know, you don't.
Or
have
not a
kids,
business owner.
or own a home, or anything crazy like that. Well, actually, even if you own a home, taxes are still easy. Like, you make what you make, you put the numbers in. You paid interest in something, you put the numbers in. And I'll tell you how much you get back.
Well, Dad, since you're talking about, why don't you just do my taxes then? How about
See,
that?
but here's another thing that people don't know. If you make less than $42,000 a year, if you go down to the federal building of your city or state, the IRS will do your federal return for free.
Aha.
There you go.
So,
See, this was a perfect PSA. Let people know, man.
Now
Stop
here.
around now. Stop playing these games out here, man.
Yeah.
Y'all losing this money
don't
for no reason.
Yeah, if you don't have a complex tax situation, no kids or whatever, you know, then yeah, go use your online software.
All right.
Because, you know, I have an accountant. Fuck all that. I'm not getting hemmed up by Uncle Sam. Oh no.
I got you.
Well, you probably got more. You got more assets. You got kids, assets, those type of things, right? So that would make sense, you know. For the regular Joe Schmo, you know, I just file zero. I'm not stupid. I file zero, so I get a little bit back at the end of the year. So I'm not doing anything crazy. I only have 1 year where I had investments. Like nothing else is going on. So you just
See, but you got to be like me, because every video game, every piece of computer hardware that I purchased this year, I wrote it off as a business expense.
Now, you know, New Gaming Order audience, it goes to show you there's more to the staff than just gaming. You know what I mean? We got real lives outside of this, and there's a wealth of knowledge with everyone here. But not to get sidebarred, Playboy, give us your quick intro before I give Shintakuma and we'll get started.
Hey, what's going on? Good morning, everyone. It is the second to the last day of January. Like my fellow New Gaming Order member said, Happy New Year. So, what I've been doing, I've been playing Blade and Soul. It's crashed, so I haven't been playing it. But I've been playing a Korean MMO called Blessed Online. So I'm so excited to finally be in a new open beta for that. That game is amazing.
Right, good stuff.
I'm waiting to play Lost Ark online next month.
Oh, Lost Ark! I want to play that one. I just don't trust this Korean.
Already got a beta key. I
just don't trust the Korean guys. So, you got an extra beta key, or you have one beta key?
I'll ask my brother in New York. He hooked me up.
How come no one's playing Dungeon Fighter Online?
Nah.
That's a great game, man. Like, you know what? I feel by myself. It's all gravy. All right, last but not least, Shintakuma, what you been up to, man?
What is going on, fellow gamers? Let's just say I've been through some personal stuff as of like the past 6, almost 7 months. I will share the PSA because it's a blessing. But other than that, though, keep on gaming. That's all I got.
Keep on shaming. What?
I said keep on gaming. You know what I said, Mr. Snowden.
Hey, no comment. No comment. I'm glad that wasn't on the director's cut. But with that being said, we're going to go right into a quick discussion on the Division beta. Now, we had the pleasure of having one of our staff members provide me with some footage. So, Khalif, Can you give us your impressions on the Division beta, and some things that they need to fix, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and is this a must buy when the game is released?
Boy, okay.
Man, stay positive, man.
Nah, man, this was a perfect show for me to come back, man. Because
to be black.
I'm gonna go ahead. Here you go, man. So the game, we already understand. We've all seen it. It's a downgrade to what we saw at E3. I expected it. You didn't expect it. You're delusional. So let's just get that out of the way. It doesn't look as good as it did at E3, but it is still a very, very pretty game, and surprisingly true and authentic and very, very dense. I didn't expect for the world to be as detailed as it is, and I'm gonna say that for it to be a beta and it to even though it's coming out in the next 30 days, it's gonna have to go here in the next 30 days here, but it's very polished, and there's little to no loading. When it does load, it's very quick. So I really appreciate how it does look and how it runs.
Okay.
But that's pretty much all the good I have to say about the Division so far.
All right. Let me ask you this. From what I'm seeing from the footage that you provided for us, I mean, the dynamic range looks really well.
It looks good.
Yeah, I'm looking at the shootout scene on the rooftop with you and I guess some other players, and I'm looking at the buildings.
There's two it's a 2-hour stream that I did. There's probably 1 hour of me by myself. I went in by myself at first because he
went Leroy Jenkins. What?
No, I feel like this. If you can't have fun by yourself, then
how you gonna have fun with other people?
Exactly. That's how I feel. So I jumped in by myself at first and did a couple missions, and the one on the rooftop is one of the missions. It's a cool mission. It was pretty long. But the shooting mechanics themselves aren't.
It kind of looks like Gears of War mixed with Siphon Filter or something.
Yeah, it's a third person shooter, cover base. You can blind fire. You can throw grenades out of the. It's a solid shooter. So to say. But
yeah, because what I'm looking at here is it's not doing anything different that Gears of War didn't do.
Right, and this is my thing, man. This is my thing because the number one thing that I've been hearing about this game. And I've been hearing people say about this game, and they've been comparing it to Destiny. Now we all know that I'm a big Destiny fan. I feel like comparing the game to Destiny is a straight up insult, bro.
But let me ask you, I wish you were on that show where we were talking about is the Destiny community dying out in favor?
This is, and I'm gonna get into that as well because I went on Facebook and spoke my opinion on this. And I feel like I'm the minority right now, bro. I feel like I'm the only guy that I know that doesn't like this game, and I feel like a lot of people are reaching. I kind of feel like because my friends that I was playing with in the second hour, of that footage, they're I was like, how y'all like it? Yeah, I like it, man. And I'm like, bruh, I don't like this shit. And I just went on about what I didn't like, and it was like they were.
It turned into a flame war.
Yeah,
okay.
They were reaching. People are trying. People are desperately trying to find that replacement for Destiny. The Destiny community is trying to find something to replace that. I got guys playing Rainbow Six. I got guys playing Call of Duty. I got guys, reaching for this Division, trying to find something to fill that gap. But the Division, to me, is just not even close. And hear me out. The obvious thing that I took out of the Division when it was first revealed, this is a Tom Clancy true to life, down to earth shoot. This is gonna be authentic. That's the feel that I got.
Okay.
When the game was revealed. Now what you got now in this beta is very bullet spongy enemies, and that's cool to a certain extent. But we're talking about real people now. The game does a great job of sucking you in,
Mhm.
no homo, and getting you
Pause
like
on
playing
that.
into the game. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's spongy. I like that.
You know, but this is the thing. But this is the thing. Like from what I understand, there's no raids, there's no PvP per se. You know, you can invade, you know, and do all that shit, and I'm gonna get into that as well. But the
Mhm.
thing is, like when you're doing, my thing is at the end of the day, when everybody's maxed out, probably gonna be day one.
Mhm.
What is the end game gonna be? What is the big enemy gonna? What are the bosses gonna be like? A bigger dude with a helmet on or shoulder pads on, and he's gonna
Mm-mm.
take more damage, bruh. It was to the point where I was emptying, like I shit you not, 3, 4, 5 clips, magazine clips into enemies, and they're not going down, bruh.
But you know
And
what? Halo 5 with the Warzone, when you're doing the not the assault or the original Warzone mode where the warden pops up or the different bosses, you're putting like so many clips into these bosses, and
but can I?
then and you
But can I
running.
stop you?
Hmm.
Can I stop you though? That's an alien monster. It fits for Halo. It fits
Okay.
for Destiny. It fits for all those games that are, you know,
Intergalactic or like
exactly.
bigger
You're
than
shooting
like okay.
aliens. You're shooting aliens. You're shooting monsters. It makes sense that you got to empty a whole. You got to shoot rocket launchers at this
It's like you're
motherfucker.
playing
Like
Contra or something. Like you
bro,
know.
it's like it doesn't mix. Like you can't put me in this authentic New York City and have me grounded like this,
Hmm.
and then have me shoot a million bullets into one dude with a hoodie on. Like it doesn't mesh well to me.
Uh
It
huh.
really doesn't. And then it has no personality to me. Man. It's like
Hmm.
you know when you the loot, and that's the thing that kind of I think people want is loot and all that shit, but
Hmm.
when you play Destiny, you know what a Gallahorn is. You know when you see Gallahorn, oh, I want that shit. Or you
Hmm.
know when you see this special piece of gear, you can tell what that piece of gear is and you want it.
Hmm.
Like in the division, like what are you chasing? Like I want a stronger M4. I had a SMG.
Oh, I see what you're
MP5.
saying.
I
I
had
see.
an MP5 that was stronger than my M4, but it just like you just get stronger versions of the same weapons. It's just it's a soulless
But
this
you know what? You know
game.
what? To stop you on that one, I see exactly what you're saying, and I concur. However, what Destiny has done, like realistically, me as a current serving soldier will tell you that weapons don't upgrade like that. You'll get modifications. You'll get different things. Like if you, those of you who saw
Yep.
Yeah,
my airsoft guns, like I can only do but so much to that before I
right.
max out. Right? Destiny gave an unrealistic viewpoint of how weapons work. You know, because
Exactly.
there was so much customization. Even like
You were
Borderlands was
chasing.
like that. Yeah.
You were at the end of the day in Destiny. You were always. It always felt like you were chasing something. In Destiny. You always felt like you were chasing that next gun. You were chasing that next piece of gear.
Hmm.
In the division, I don't see. Like, what are you going to be chasing? Like,
The
I
division
saw
is
the
story driven. It's story driven. That's why.
Okay. Now,
I
Khalif,
mean, how
for the sake of
far?
time, I want to see what the rest of the staff thought because this is your segment. But you know, I just wanted to give everybody a
All right.
chance to weigh in. But
I I played a little bit at a friend's house,
mhm.
and I have to refute some of Khalif's what he said because it's like, okay, you're playing a Tom Clancy novel, but having read
Big word.
plenty of Tom Clancy novels,
Mhm.
they do venture off of the rails somewhat. Even though they're somewhat realistic, you do have the Tom Clancy video game universe like Rainbow Six and even Splinter Cell. But
Mhm.
Splinter Cell does veer off the rails from from realistic to fantasy from time to time. So
You have to.
you have to, for the sake of a video game, even if you're doing a militaristic shooter.
Mhm.
Second thing, yeah, I get enemies are bullet sponges. It's a beta. They're still
Working out.
things
Yeah.
Man,
Because
man,
let,
look,
let's be
this,
real.
this game,
Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. I wanted to give Khalif a chance to refute,
I
and
was
then
just saying the game
Demizo.
is done. The beta excuse that I keep hearing from people, the game is done, y'all. The game has to go gold at least 2 weeks before it comes out. The game comes out in March 8th. So
Well,
the game
considering
has to
like
be.
you know, in all fairness, we know companies have been rushing games out and patching them later. You know, we've
You better
said this.
delay it.
A Tom Clancy game getting delayed? All right, but go ahead, Demizzle. Go ahead.
Betas are not the most recent version of a company's internal product. It's not the most recent version of what they have. They give the most recent stable version of what they think is suitable for public consumption. Like things like enemies taking like clips of bullets to be killed, that's going to be fixed in the final version. I know it's going to be scaled down, but you have to expect, you can't expect this to be a hyper realistic thing, because if enemies went down in 1 or 2 hits, that would bode the same for you. And as a massive multiplayer game, that would not be fun to have people
at all.
Yeah, you gotta be at least expected, even without body armor on. You got like, okay, these guys are gonna take at least 15 to 16 to kill. So you gotta like lower your expectations somewhat. And let's be real, the new buzzword beta is just a demo.
Yeah,
demo.
Exactly.
Do we really need to go back to putting on the front screen? This is a demo. This is not indicative of a final product.
But the disclaimer.
We need to go back to that.
That's kind of my point, though.
Yeah.
Because I haven't played a demo lately that hasn't been too far from the real game. I haven't played lately that hasn't been too far. And the thing is, I'm not expecting them to be super real. I'm not expecting that, because I understand what the game is. But at the end of the day, I'm just worried about the longevity of the game. The game, it is pretty fun when you play with other people. It can get pretty fun. But when I was playing by myself, it was really, really bad. I had much more fun when I was playing with my friends. But at the end of the day, I'm worried about the legs of the game. How long are you gonna go with no PvP? And let me talk about the scumbaggery that I've seen from people playing this game, bro.
Scumbaggery.
Understand. This is how the Dark Zone, because this Dark Zone is pretty much a PvE, PvP area where you can go in and fight these high level enemies. You get loot and you have to extract the loot. But the twist on that is the people that's in, the room with you, per se, the map with you, can decide to go rogue and take your loot. Cool, right? That's
kind of like the Battlefield Hardline, isn't it? Like, whole banks and robbers and all that stuff, cops and robbers.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Baggery, man. Damn.
But the thing is, this is the thing, like, because you'll have and I've been watching streams. I've been seeing people like kind of cheese it to where people would, you have people in there doing their their extraction or whatever, and you had these guys just camping with sniper rifles, picking them off, and friends of mine are like, man, I did that all morning and I ranked up and and like had fun doing that. And I'm like, dude, that's trash, bro. Like, if you want to play me, like, let's get in 6v6 and let's go head to head. Like, let's see who's better.
That's
like,
any
that's a standard
multiplayer online game. You have people. I'll admit to having done this quite a few times in Destiny, where I've gone into like PvE/PvP sections and just let people wild out.
But you can't shoot each other, and that's what I'm saying. You can't do it to where like that divisions do it, where you're in a PvE era where you can shoot each other. You can't do that.
You can do it in World of Warcraft.
What I'm saying is this, man. You can't, at the end of the day, if I wanna go in and see like who's like, let's go ahead and go 6v6. You can't do. There is no 6v. You just going in. You have to play to where you gotta intercept some dudes, and the only way you're gonna shoot other players is going rogue, basically. And
also, like an organized play mode type thing, like how the distinction in Call of Duty's Battlefield, like, okay, this is this type of match type, like I want to do this objective.
They don't have no PvP. Period. There's no PvP. It's mixed in with the PvE.
There's nothing to say that they won't add it later, though.
Okay.
They definitely. I don't understand how you even talk about launching a game without it. This is a shooter.
They did. What was it? Rainbow Six. Yeah, Rainbow Six had a lot of stuff. Like, there's no campaign with it right now. It's just like People just thrown in there like, what the heck? Like,
But bruh,
I'm sure
we're talking about a shooter with no PvP.
You know what it sounds.
But there's been a lot of shooters with no multiplayer before.
PvP, bro. A shooter with no PvP. Where about?
You know what that?
okay, hold on. Hey guys, time out. Hold on. Noop, you were saying? Go ahead, Noop.
I said it exists. I mean, if you look at it, PvP, you got to remember, like even Super Nintendo, Sega, PS1, PS2, PS3, that's just PS2. No, I really say PS3 and Xbox 360 is really when we really started getting PvP like that online.
Well, he does have a point.
Hell, you can do that on Grand Theft Auto 5 online. You can just be a dick and just roll out. Like you can just observe.
You can, and you can also decide. Let's go head up. Let's go PvP. Let's go 6v6, and let's do it. I mean, like at the end of the day, man, it's my preference. I just feel like if I'm in a shooter, like I just imagine, just playing this game for. I can't imagine playing this game for more than a couple months. I just can't see me playing the game, getting, max level, and doing these missions with no PvP to back it up, with no, with the same, because I just don't see the longevity in this game.
I think at some point, maybe, like, because now games are expandable. That's the expectation, Look at,
They shouldn't be.
Well, and I'm gonna give Gelkin the floor next, but you see with that, like, look at, like, I just booted up Halo 5, and then all of a sudden all this extra stuff, new maps, new this and that, like things are just rolling out. That's the era that we're in. It's not that I agree with it, because before everything was standalone, you got what you got, but when you now have games that are constantly evolving, and you log into a server, this update, you got Infinity Armor, you got a new weapon here and there. I mean, I just think I want to play The Division, but I'm going to wait because it's too polarized where it's people saying good and bad things. I just want to wait and see.
Play it and see, man. I mean, because I really want to like the game. Like, people are coming
I liked it.
Like,
I played it.
People are coming at me like I'm like dogging. I mean, I'm dogging it because I don't like it.
All right.
I wanna like it, but if it ain't clicking, it just ain't.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. All right, so can you go next, and then I'll give Nuke the floor, then Playboy and Takuma. But
The Division is paying homage to the game that came out a long time ago, Tom Clancy, right? It was from something with an H. It wasn't like Homeworld. What the hell was it called?
Homefront.
Homefront. Yeah. Yeah. So I expect that game, and it looks like it plays almost exactly the same, but I think it's going to be a short-lived game, unfortunately. But no, seriously. But I think it's going to be good. I think it looks good for what it is, but it doesn't look like something I'm going to pick up and play after a month. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I do think if it's going to be one of those things where they're going to keep adding content over the next 2 years or 3 years like that, like a Destiny, I think it's a waste of fucking time, and I won't be purchasing that game.
Interesting. I thought that you would be in favor of it, but
nope.
All right. Okay, Noob.
I'm tired of these expansions and everything. I want games to come out the way they're supposed to come out. And
we're never going back, right? You know what the problem is? With these companies got so fucking greedy that, like, for instance, one of the topics later on in the show, that kid who in Canada who ran up $8,000 on his dad's credit card playing FIFA. Playing fucking FIFA, like, really?
You know what? I think it changes the genre. Like, how do you have a classic game now that basically never ends? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Destiny's a great game, but is it a classic yet? Right? You know what I mean?
It's probably gonna go down as a classic franchise, but not Destiny.
It'll be like 15 years before it's considered a classic.
Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta give any game at least 10 years before it's considered a classic.
Yes.
Street Fighter 4-7.
Yep. Okay. So, Noob, what are your thoughts?
I don't think Destiny will Classic because the story elements weren't there. It was basically the thing about Destiny, like you said, was you're chasing the next piece of gear, but literally in Destiny, you're literally doing the same thing over and over and over.
Massive grinding, massive grinding.
Whether you're level 1 or level 40, you are literally doing the same missions in the same locations, and that's what really let me down. It just happens to be very fun to play with your friends. Like that's the only reason
I was getting ready to say that. You were super right, bro. But it's so fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Like it's like but I'm starting to. It stuck with me longer than I thought it would, but now I've really fallen back off of it because I'm like,
and here I am. I need help with Destiny, and I didn't buy the DLC. I can't continue.
But here's the other thing to think about. You're chasing all of this gear, right? What is the purpose of getting the gear at the end of the day?
To do the raids.
To be a man.
But the thing is this, like I can beat raids with what I have. Like I don't need the gear to beat the raids because I have friends who are high enough that can get me through. So it's like once you do that,
wait. He got friends that are high.
Yeah, like you're right. But there's it's an endless cycle. It's you beat the you do.
But
the,
it goes back to
gear. You get gear to beat the raid, and then you beat the raid to get better gear to beat the raid faster all over again. So
talk about a vicious cycle.
Yeah, but it goes back to your point though, which is why you're right about the PvP and the division, which is why I said they're probably gonna have to add it later. That's the real purpose of getting the gear is to take it in the Crucible and to use it on each. Because other than that, it really doesn't matter. Because if I get a bunch of friends that are level 310, I can beat the raid and get gear all day using my lowest weapons because we can run through it. But I think PvP is what's really going to end up keeping it. Like when Iron Banner comes out, people don't know how to act. All my friends.
Exactly. There was something to keep you coming back.
And then, with the advent of esports, like you want to... Oh, go ahead.
I don't think the division has given us... I don't think we really have a scope of what they're going to do with it yet, which is why it's a little difficult to see where it lands. I do think in this generation, and you do need PvP. You do need it because it's the only thing that keeps people truly coming back. I'm down. I'm good for a good solo story. Like I really think Horizon coming out on PS4 should have multiplayer. Looking at some of the elements, even if it's co-op, I think it should have multiplayer. But as of right now, it doesn't. With the division, I feel like you have. Here's why I say it might, depending on what direction they go in, they may or may not need it. You have the entire state of New York. Plenty of things you can give a solo person or a co-op person to do. And then who's to say that they won't expand to Philly or Jersey?
Interesting.
If you do it right, because if you think about it, most people who play Destiny are playing co-op. They're not really playing. I rarely play PvP unless I'm trying to get like unless I pick up a mission or something like that. But I'm usually playing co-op instead of versus, so it can work, but the content has to be there. It has to.
Well, I'm gonna have to say this particular segment was very interesting. But who hasn't gone yet? Because for the sake of time, I wanted everybody to get in there.
All I gotta say is, let's wait and see what happens with this game.
She said,
if it's good, at the end of the day, everything else will not. Let's wait and see what happens.
I want to
slap you, Noob.
All right, go
I
ahead.
have to say is just remember Hellgate, London. That's all I can say about the division.
Let me end it off on a nice sandwich, man. You say something nice, and then you put your bullshit in the middle, and then you end it. I'm gonna end it with something nice.
He said, "Man, sandwich." Huh?
Oh my goodness. So the game has potential, man. Like I said, it looks good. It runs well. It can. Like I said, the mechanics to me need a lot of work. You need to make it a lot more smoother than it is, because the shooting to me at the moment, it doesn't feel good.
It still feels stiff.
It feels really stiff. My character, feels really stiff. It doesn't feel good to shoot. But y'all said it's a beta, so they can fix it. So hey, fix this shit, fix that. It has potential, man. Release some PvP and quit bullshitting. You cannot last with no PvP.
Now, you know what? I think of Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I don't know who here has it as well, but now I tell you, when I was playing that with Shinwar and Nelson, like I kind of from the way that you guys are describing the division, I get that feel. You know, in Dragon Ball, you're getting different like armor, different things here and there to go through the different sagas. The only thing that irritated me about Xenoverse, there was a stopping point. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're working on Xenoverse 2 or whatever, but those sandbox type games.
Stop making 3D Dragon Ball Z games.
Well, I got you, but you know, I have to agree with Khalif in the sense that you know even Xenoverse had PvP in there from jump, and that type of yeah. Well, but did anybody want to have an alibi before we start moving to the next segment?
One last thing about the division. It runs at 1080p 60 frames per second on the Xbox One. For all you like people who care about that shit, they're gonna be like, "Oh my god!"
How are they able to pull it off?
Well, play the beta and do it for yourself.
Okay. Now I don't know if this is true or not. Before we get log off. Which is the division gonna be one of the first new games to start having PC-like graphic adjustments, like with anti-aliasing and frame rate, things like that?
I have not seen that.
Yeah, I have to take a look, but I remember there was something pertaining to one of these shooters that's supposed to start having those customizations like a PC game would, you know, on a console. So this way, the debate of all this and that, blah blah blah, what performs better. If now, like me and Shinwar were saying, hey, allow us to tweak the settings so we can get the best performance based off of our needs. You know, so if the division is that game, I definitely will be checking it out. So, Khalif, what a way to come back, man! That was a hell of a segment. So, New Gaming Order, we're gonna go into intermission. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on newgamingorder.com for the latest and greatest gaming news. If you're watching us live, make sure you stay through for the director's cut, where they're going to continue talking about the division while I pull up the next topic. But hell, I love my staff. These guys know how to provide content. So with that, we'll see you on the next segment. Peace.
You love your staff, huh?
What the hell? Yeah, I love my staff. Shut up. Unbelievable. This fucking guy.
Yo, we would hope you
Beta's
love
still
this
out.
guy.
I still downloaded. I didn't play the beta. I just played the alpha.
Unbelievable. He
I had
said.
to reserve it to get.
Newest
to get,
beard and Patty's
get
pie.
What the?
Well, I played the.
He said. Oh, that's what I.
I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah, there's a topic that I forgot to put in the Discord.
He said Windows Phone is dead.
No, well, hold on. And yeah, there's a thing. I forgot what the name of the software is, but all right, guys, this is gonna be the next topic. I'm front loading it. It's gonna be you'll see it pasted. I have some information on it, but they're talking about no more pirated games within 2 years. One of the gamer groups were warning that Just Cause 3, they had a nightmare of a problem to get it to work. So I'm going to load that up real quick and we'll get started. Alright, so I'm going to start the local recording in 3, 2, 1. What's going on, New Gaming Order? We back like the Juggernaut bitch, hitting you with another topic for January 30th, 2016. Those of you who are just joining us, we had an interesting discussion on the division. And I let that topic rip for more than 30 minutes because Thumb Thrasher Gaming and Free Play Mode had a lot of good things to say. Plus, our full-time staff member, Khalif. So, man, bro, anytime you got something like that, I got to give you your own segment on here because that was good content. I appreciated it. But with that, the next topic that we're going to be attacking is... Hey,
what's going down, everybody? It's your boy.
What the heck?
That's me watching Free Play Mode on video.
Oh, okay.
To your battles. Go ahead.
All right, so The next topic. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Ooh, sorry, allergies. All right, so what's going on now is apparently, if you were on the director's cut, you kind of heard me talking about this in brief. Pirated games may be going away in the next 2 years. Now, this is according to one of the hackers group. And apparently, Just Cause 3 was the first game to start implementing the Denuvo software. Basically, what it is, in layman's term, is it's an encryption to the encryption of a game. So, if you have like a fort, or you're doing capture the flag, right, and you're trying to breach one of the levels, what the Denuvo is like the barbed wire or the moat around the castle. So you have to break through the Denuvo to get to start chipping away at the base. Now with that, the issue with it is now when some of these newer games or PC, when they start implementing this, it installs software onto your computer, but they don't know how it works, what data is collecting, and it's supposedly creating an algorithm, so it's constantly changing. So think of like the Hydra virus or something where you're trying to cure a hack or something, but it's
like an RSA. It's more like an RSA key.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it's like RSA key.
so it's constantly changing.
Yeah.
So basically now they're trying
More
to
like bulk encryption.
yeah. So
Wow.
so basically now what might be happening, gone are the days of the possible one hack or one pirate fix all type thing, where it's probably going to be like on an individual basis if they even go through the trouble of doing it. Now, Just Cause 3 was out for a couple of months before they finally got through to it. And I guess that hacking group has been very, very on point with it, where they were known to breaking things, but they just said, hey, they might be having issues with it. You know what I mean? So they're talking about FIFA 16 will start implementing this. Tomb Raider might be using this as well. You know what I mean? But the article comes from torrentfreak.com. And, I just wanted to give everybody the floor. I wanted to start off with Demizzle. What are your thoughts on this Denuvo?
This is gonna last. You know how he is with bootleggers.
All right, for those of you who don't know what an RSA key is, it's
I know what it is.
it's essentially a key fob that they give IT people and people who work from home on their computers, and for people who need to access VPNs to log into their work server, it essentially is a 6 to 8 digit code that randomly generates every minute, and authenticates against a server.
Mm-hmm.
The wrong key code, it won't authenticate. So that's what an RSA key is. But as far as
They were hacked.
as far as no hacks in the near future, I honestly saw that going away the second Steam started to pick up steam, pun intended.
Shut up. What the hell?
Because PC gaming is going away from physical copies, because you don't see, like, if you go buy a PC game today, it's usually like you'll get the box and everything, but inside the box, instead of a game disc, you'll get a key card, and the key card will enable a download from that company's server of the game. So you're not even they're going away from physical media when you buy it at the store. So it's like they're getting wise to, like, the way they know the way to control their content is to essentially keep it on their servers. Keep as little physical data out of the hands of customers as possible.
Right.
Now the drawback to that though, and my experience with Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, the PC reboot, I've had that. I purchased that game in Iraq when I was in Baghdad, right? I think something happened.
It's real?
No, it's real. It was from the PX. Like it was legitimate.
It's real.
Yeah, I didn't get it from the
From the
bazaar.
exchange.
But yeah, but you know, Playboy knows about the bazaars and stuff. Like those people overseas are very resourceful. They know how to pirate anything. But
And they know how to
Hell
get
yeah.
shit.
I
yeah,
got a PSP. I got a PSP from over there and tried to trade it in up here. The motherfucking lady looked at me like I was crazy. Like, sir, you can't. Well, I don't even know what the SKU is for this. I was like, oh shit.
yeah. But
Yeah, exactly.
with that, it's like I had the Need for Speed. It was a legitimate copy for the PC because I didn't have my 360 with me in Iraq initially. So I got this code for the my laptop. I installed it, and you know, when I was on night shift, I would just play Need for Speed when we're not getting attacked or anything. And it got you know, if I didn't have an internet access or whatever, I couldn't play the game. You know, and Playboy can tell you over there, if Sniper Hell or any of those things go down, and you had a game that had to keep logging into the server, like you're screwed. Even if I legitimately paid for it. Now, hacker server purpose, like if a game, you know, developer stops supporting that game, hackers do like, you know, the exe hacks or no CD hacks or whatever, so you can continue playing the game. You know what I mean? They're not all bad, but you got the assholes out there that trying to, you know, mess things up for the established order. But it is what it is. But taking, you know, control away from the consumer, it's like after the life of the game is done, an SNES cartridge, an N64, PSX disc, or Sega Saturn, you can still put it in and play it. The problem now is it's like they have too much control. When they don't want you to play it, you already gave them your money. You know what I mean? And it's like, what the hell? And I think they're going way too far with the Denuvo. But here's the thing too, it's very, yeah, because I think that if they have that much control, I already give them $60, and then they can tell me when and where I can play it, or after 6 years, I don't want you to play it anymore. Give me my money back. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Well, you gotta look at them. You gotta look at them protecting their content. I think. Remember?
Cause not. I get they're protecting their content, but after the life of the game, right?
Yeah.
I
So
should still be able to play
this,
it.
We talked about this briefly when we were talking about the mods for Street Fighter V. And remember, I discussed the fact that they could possibly do something like that by just encrypting the local binaries on user systems, right?
Yeah.
So it sounds like that's what this application is doing. Maybe they were watching a podcast or something. But
I just figured it out. It's just like you know how ransomware works, where if you don't do it, it encrypts your hard drive.
They encrypt your hard drive.
This is the same thing, just localized to the specific game.
Right, exactly. So you're basically it's basically like true crypting one folder on your system that no one can get to. You know what I'm saying?
Not only that, they put other files on your computer that once you uninstall that game, you can't pull those other files off, and they don't know where they are.
Right?
That's not fine. I don't want them putting stuff on my computer.
No. If I design a game, right, you should be able to uninstall the extra addedware for that particular game. But net result is if all the companies are going to use that thing, then that software needs to be on your computer. You know, you get what I'm saying? If you want to pay to play, right? You have to agree to my whatever terms of playing my game. You can't copy the content. You can't modify my binaries. And part of that is we encrypt our binaries on our system so that you can't touch them. And you say, yes, I agree to that. And then that's it. You play your game. Hopefully it's not like like Destiny or all these other games and expandable and downloadable content. It's the whole game. Yeah. And then that's it. You can download it anytime you want and play the game in full.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
I don't think it's a bad idea. This is why people need to fight. You know, the gamer community, whoever else is out there that's willing to support it, needs to fight for physical media, right? Or have the option to purchase physical media, even if they're not going to mass produce them and put them in stores. I should be able to go to you and say, I don't want this online stuff. I want the physical media, and then you pay for it, and then they ship you the physical media.
Yes.
Oh, I wanted to add I was looking at the article. The Chinese cracking group is called 3DM.
Chinese crackhead group. What?
Oh my gosh! You know what? I can't even talk to you. All
I
right.
thought that's what you
I did not say that. Unbelievable.
Black people.
I have to agree with Goken because remember back in the day before DVDs became like the standard, programs were still put up on CD-ROM, and if you wanted a DVD copy of it, you had to go onto that company's website and be like, hey, would you mind giving me a DVD copy of this program?
Right. You can do that with Linux now. Linux is distro, any major distro, and you go to like Ubuntu and you say you can download the ISOs, right? But you can also pay $10 and they'll give you the physical media. So, and I would suggest that people start investing in this type of thing, right? Because in the new world, whenever that happens, you're going to be forced to do updates and things you don't want to do on your system.
Windows 10 is doing it like behind your back.
You see that it's starting. That's why I would prefer, Windows 10. If you only need Windows for gaming, get a Linux box, and do GPU pass through on a VM or something, and then get on, play games, and get off, But I could see the other things like Linux and other places being forced into going in those directions, which is hard to do because it's supposed to be open source. But the way things are going, if you can get physical media of your favorite distros, get them while you can.
All right. So, Khalif, what are your thoughts on this new technology that might? Well, the 3DM is saying it might be virtually impossible in the future to. I guess I don't think it's impossible. It's just going to take longer for them to hack the games.
It's going to be impossible. Once you have an algorithm and encryption, like someone with those hackers would literally need to work for the company and figure out and get like the source algorithm to be able to crack that.
So you mean to tell me that the companies have finally beat the hackers?
Encryption. No, encryption. Listen, encryption has been beating the government for a long time. That's why everyone wants these back doors. Everyone needs a back door. We need this. We need that.
Back doors. Hold on.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if you use encryption technology, you can. It's very hard. If I put a file today and I encrypt it with some crazy ass 256-bit or even greater key, it would take someone
a long time.
It would take someone over 1,000 years. That's how encryption works.
Yeah.
Like depending on what it is and how well you secured it, it could take someone up to 1,000 or even 1,000,000 years. There's no computers out there that can compute that many numbers at one period of time to crack it. So,
but you know what? Someone did say that as computers become more.
Unless you have a backdoor.
No. Wait. Because as the computers become more advanced, more powerful, that might not be the case. But you know what? I want to jump around. I want to give Playboy.
I need to jump in. Hold on.
Thank you. Playboy's here. He's here.
Wait a minute. This topic is like double dutch here. Everybody jumping in and out. Like, all right, go ahead.
And well, there's a legal aspect to encryption as well because not in every country the type of depending on the type of encryption is not legal. Right now, the only universal form of encryption that's legal worldwide and it's a standard is IPsec. Once you start getting into triple DES, RSA, secure ID, stuff like that, Diffie-Hellman encryption and MD5 stuff like that. You start operating in murky waters because these companies are releasing products worldwide, and depending on what region of the world. For instance, let's take the European Union. You cannot run within EU states anything running any type of bulk encryption because believe it or not, the EU they monitor everything going across the internet, coming across the pipes in the EU, and God forbid it go to Asia. So like I said, standards like IPsec, which creates IPsec tunnel from A to B. That's perfectly legal because that's a standard. That's how HTTPS works. So but that's how VPN works. Tunnel protocols and everything like that. So, but when you start getting into secure IDs and getting fobs and stuff, it becomes really murky. And also on these companies, these gaming companies, it starts to become real expensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So at the end of the day, it's all about making money. You know, they're not trying to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
You know, especially dealing with, you know, these foreign governments, you know, regimes or what have you. So, you know, especially with the Chinese market booming with the way it is, almost 2 billion people, you know, they're trying to crack that, you know, that they're trying to crack into that market. You know, and China does not allow foreign companies to set up any sort of, you know, encryption on their internet infrastructure. So yeah, so
this is going to be interesting.
For America, it works fine, you know. But once you get outside of America,
what the heck?
But yeah.
All right. Now with that, who didn't get to speak on the topic at hand? I just want to make sure everybody had. All right, go ahead, Noob. What are your thoughts on Denuvo?
Hey, it'll be very quick. Yeah, you guys are right. We're gonna end up moving to, especially on PC, digital only copies, which I don't like because again, it's a definitive purchase. You buy it, that's it. You don't like it, you're screwed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna continue to get physical copies as long as I can, but you know, nowadays you buy a laptop or something, you got to buy external disk drive. You know, they're starting to do away with all that stuff. I don't know. I'm not heavy on that side yet. I'll just keep listening to you guys, and so y'all give me some good advice.
No, you're doing the right thing. Keep buying the digital, the physical copy as long as you can. But you got to remember, at some point, it doesn't matter. The way they're, you know, this is what's fucked up. The way they're designing the games, it doesn't matter. Because we got sucked in. We got sucked in with Destiny. That's an online only game. Right, so I can't play. You can't play that game offline, right? So we spent all this money, and when Destiny's done 10 years from now, and I want to go back and play Destiny, I will not be able to.
And you know what?
Same with Titanfall.
That's fucked up.
They need, just like they have the gamer rating, they need to put that somewhere where it's very visible and say this content, to access the content on this game, you must have a working internet connection.
It says it on the back of the box.
Nah, but or if it's a game that requires servers, because you know some games have servers, and then you know like EA. Remember a few years ago they decided to shut down all their servers on a bunch of old games.
Yeah, they bought out companies and shut them down. Like what? Why would they?
Was on 360 and that was on PS3 when they were doing that.
Okay, now guys, I wanted to add. I'm on Wikipedia and I have the list of publishers and the titles that are using this technology. First on the list is FIFA 15, EA Canada, Lords of the Fallen, CI Games.
Really, that game sucks. Anyway, I won't install that one again. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dragon Age Inquisition, EA, developed by BioWare. Battlefield Hardline, that game was ass. I'm sorry. Anyway, they could keep that. Visceral Games, publisher EA.
But those are all Origin, right? So most of those games, it sounds like that extra piece of software will be Origin. It looks like Origin is probably facilitating the encryption of that software while it's installed.
That could be it too.
But I think that's the case. That's what it sounds like. Those are all EA games.
Just Cause was Ubisoft.
Yeah, matter of fact,
in Ubisoft it has. You know, now if you notice, if you wanted to go play Rayman, you have to install the Ubisoft software to play it, even though you buy it through Steam.
Not only that, you have that with Epic Games. They have that on the PC now too. But also on the list, Batman: Arkham Knight, Rocksteady had that. Metal Gear Solid, Phantom Pain has it. Mad Max. The new Mad Max game that Demizzle was playing on Free Play Mode's channel. FIFA 16 has it. Star Wars Battlefront, Just Cause 3, Far Cry Primal, and Rise of the Tomb Raider will have this technology. Those of you who are in the watching live, I have it in the background so you can see, and I will also put it in the Discord for just GP. But that's interesting. I mean, they're going ham, but it's only a handful of companies doing it. It's very expensive to implement right now. But with that being said, I mean, any final words on this before we move on to our next topic?
We beat that one up pretty good.
Man, I tell you, today, I wish On Your Knees was around today. He's probably like knocked out But shout out to Project Justice, Nelson, and those who were not able to be on today. We're just gonna drive on. We're thinking about y'all, no homo, and we'll be back for the next segment. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on NewGamingOrder.com for the latest and greatest video gaming news, brought to you by a bunch of juggernauts, pimp smacking people. So stay tuned, and we'll. Yeah, what the heck?
Damn.
Unbelievable. All right.
What was that?
Okay, so please join us for our next segments and check out our other content on YouTube. We just need the subs. That would be great. And we'll see you on the next one. Okay, that was a good topic, guys. Very good
Sorry,
topic.
I had to pimp smack some hoes.
But guys, what do you think about Denuvo? Like, is that going to become the standard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's going to hurt, man. Like, damn.
Yo,
Well,
see,
all
that's-
it means, all
it's
it
the
truly
problem.
means is that it's going to take hacker groups longer to put out releases because
It'll take them a million years.
there's tons of
The fundamental purpose of, the fundamental issue with quote unquote freedom. You got too many people taking too much advantage instead of saying, you know, let me do this. Nah, I'm gonna just take it to the extreme. And it's
Yeah, that's true.
I hate it because they're greedy, but the companies have to make money. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta shut it down, yo. Shut him down.
Yeah, well, they.
But I
He
it
said.
don't really affect me because I don't bootleg that much stuff. So, but you know.
No, I'm just saying, like, some of the stuff, like, the Red Dragon made a good point. Not all hacker groups are bad. You have the ones that, okay, if a game, you own the game, Need for Speed, I can't log into the server anymore, but they found a way to make it play offline so I can still enjoy the game. That I agree with. But anything else where they're trying to take over the world type stuff and really trying to be a-holes about it, that's, you know, like, I guess they got so desperate, they're like, hey, we're gonna find something to stop the hackers. And, you know, with the DLC practices and microtransactions, I see why they had the Robin Hood mentality where they're like, hey, screw these guys. I'm just, you know, the companies are making too much as is. I don't know. It's not my place to say if they're right or wrong, but that's just my thoughts on it.
You know what? And I know this would never happen, but I feel like your situation, like if I have a game, y'all know it's online only, and that company shuts it down to where I can't play.
No. The game wasn't online only. It's just that it keeps checking in.
I'm saying whether it's online only, if a game like that has an issue like that or is online only, yo, we should get a credit voucher for that, yo.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know, we see that you have this register with us, and this game is no longer accessible. Here's a $25 voucher to purchase something from my current library. You know,
I agree.
Like you're basically taking it back from us.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. Matter of fact, I should have put that on the main show. But you see, those of you checking out the director's cut or the iTunes version of this product, you know, as soon as I start getting this onto Apple, you know, that's a good point, Noop. That's a real good point. Also, today, you and Demiz have to do extensive plugs, for Thumb Thrasher Gaming and Free Play Mode spin-offs, all right?
Yeah, I gotta put up more content.
All right, so... All right, now the next and final topic before we do PSAs is that that teen racking up $8,000 on a credit card. Now, this one...
That bought the Xbox 360. How much he paid for that on eBay?
Now, I'm going to say this. The Sony fans are going to be kind of pissed off at me because I'm going to poke holes at Microsoft and Sony for what happened with this. But I'm going to start this off. And yeah, all right. So we're going to start off in 3, 2, 1. What up, New Gaming Order? We back. And I'm not a juggernaut right now because I'm going to give you guys a disclaimer. Sony fans, please, you guys know who you are. Anytime I have Sony in the title of my videos, somebody's ready to come after me or so I'm just going to let you know these are legitimate arguments and facts that were pulled up. So I'm going to let y'all know It's just facts. I'm not going to give too much of an opinion until after the facts are stated. But what the heck?
We're getting chips.
Damn.
Sorry.
All right. All right. So
Stupid, the Mizzle.
unbelievable. Yeah, I'm probably have to start like putting the pause button on folks. But check it. What's going on now? New Gaming Order. You guys who watched Lunchtime TV with me saw that I covered on a mini short where I was talking about $8,000 worth of microtransaction charges to a man's credit card that he gave to his son. Now, the issue, I hit a whole bunch of topics with that where this is why microtransactions are bad, right? Because look at the potential for terrible things to happen like this. And, you know, the developers of FIFA, look how much money they could have potentially made off a $60 game. You know what I mean? So that's neither here nor there. So the staff can talk about that, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Microtransactions are bad, number one. Number two, the father was like he made the mistake. He messed up. What he should have done was not have a credit card with an $8,000 limit on it. That's the wrong answer. So that's fuck up number two. Number three, the teenager wasn't such a teen that he was naive. He's 17 years old playing FIFA. He knew what the hell he was doing. No. Now, I will tell you this. On Xbox, they tell you if you're going to make a purchase, it's going to ask you to confirm, and it shows your credit card information on there. Do you really want to make this purchase? Boom. You confirm, and it'll send you the statement on your Hotmail or MSN email stating that these charges were made. So,
Who uses Hotmail?
Also, because I did this on my account, you can set up a security measure that whenever you're going to make a purchase, you have to put in a code.
yes.
No one can buy anything on my Xbox unless they know my passcode.
Yep. So
Same thing on your phone.
exactly. So on the Xbox, I know they have the checks and balances. The PSN, I know they have the checks and balances. But on my Vita, though, I had to do some updates because even with my card, my credit card laced to the Vita, if somebody had stolen it and just started buying games on it, that would have been an issue. Because I remember, I'm like, man, I'm not comfortable with how easy it is for somebody to go in there and just start buying up stuff, even if it's under my name. So, with that being said, Microsoft, well, but technically, the father goes to Microsoft, said, I want my money back, you know, this is unauthorized charges. Microsoft said the charges are going to stand because, you know, it was, the kid has his last name or whatever, you know, that's your, you should have, you know, supervised your kid. He goes to the credit card company. He's trying to get this money back.
Take the content back.
No. So with that, the credit card company said in order for him to get the money back, he would have to go after his son to say that he made fraudulent charges. So he wasn't going to do that. So basically he went back to Microsoft, then went to the media and said, oh, Xbox is bad, consoles are bad, I'm never having a console in my house again, you know, all kinds of nonsense. At the end of the day, you see how he's blaming everybody else but himself? He was the one that fucked up. He was the one that
Xbox.
Well, yeah, that's what he did because the Xbox didn't make the transactions. The kid made the transactions through the Xbox. So, I mean, look at what happened with the Sony thing in UK, where that guy had $450 something worth of charges ran up on his PSN account. It was legitimate. It was an unauthorized purchase. That guy went to Sony. Sony said, no, they're not going to reverse it. He went to this credit card company. The credit card company saw that, okay, it was fraudulent. They gave the money back and took it from Sony. But Sony went ahead and pulled all his digital content, locked his account out for something legitimate, right?
Wow.
So now, going back to Microsoft, Microsoft was in the wrong for giving this man his money back because this was a legitimate purchase from an authorized user of the card. So Microsoft only did that to kind of save face or PR because they're doing so poorly. But you know what, Microsoft, you're wrong for that. If the kid made the purchase and that was his dad's card, unless the dad said it was stolen, those charges should have stood. Matter of fact, Sony should have done what Microsoft did to that user, and they should have swapped, because the illegitimate charges on that PSN account, right? That should have been refunded. Sony was fucked up for that. But, you know, at the end of the day, the guy got his situation resolved, and it was all good on the Sony side. Microsoft went ahead and caved in. Now, you know how that ruins the terms of service for everybody else? I can go and say, hey, I didn't want to buy Sunset Overdrive. I want my money back. I'll go to Bank of America, Capital One, or whatever, and go on Eyewitness News and say, hey, I didn't want to make that purchase. That wasn't me. So now what? You know, I think that Sony was wrong, Microsoft was wrong, but mainly the father was wrong for being so stupid and not teaching his son to only use the card for, you know, emergencies. But $8,000 worth of FIFA charges, and then he's gonna go and say, well, I didn't know I was being charged for every transaction. Bullshit. Go into his Xbox Live account and you'll see deduction. Come on. Halo 5 has the potential to have that same problem, because if you look at the rec packs, you have $60 for 34 gold rec packs, or what was that, exotics or whatever. But laying down the foundation, I know I kind of went on a tangent, but Demizzle, what are your thoughts on what Microsoft did? I think they were 110% wrong in refunding this man his money.
I agree that they shouldn't have refunded them the money, because they were 100% in the right in their policy. Because like what I do, even though there's all these checks and balances on Xbox 360 and Xbox One in terms of making purchases via credit card, if you leave your credit card on file, I know myself, and I know I'm an impulsive person, so I just don't leave my credit card on file.
Yeah, it's a pain. It's a pain to keep putting the data in all the time. It's like, oh, you know what? And by the time you're about to make the purchase, you'll ask, do I really want this game? Do I really need it?
Yeah, that's why I don't keep it on file. Like, because by the time I enter, like, a credit card is like 16 digits. And it's like, by the time I get finished entering my name, my credit card information, the security code on the back, I'm at the point where, like, do I really need to buy this? Do I really want this? But I have to, like, side with Microsoft on this, because FIFA microtransactions are, like, one-time use only. I could see if he purchased the stuff and didn't.
I see what you bought.
Yeah, like, I can understand if he purchased it and never used it and it was just sitting there. Then you can make the case for accidental purchase because he didn't use what he purchased. But stuff in like FIFA 16 and NBA 2K16 and any kind of sports game where you have disposable DLC that you can use, like, okay, this is a boost for this play, or this is in-game currency for this, or this is an extra character that's only one-time use. Like, and you actually use it, that's not an accidental purchase. And Microsoft straight up got punked by the fear of bad PR.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
And you know what, Demizzle, high five on that one, because that was wrong. Microsoft, like, really took the wrong approach with that one. But it is what it is. Khalif, what are your thoughts on that $8,000 charge? And FIFA, like, here's the thing. You know how many charges, how many microtransactions he had to make? Because those...
The only downloadable content FIFA has is called FIFA Points. You buy points. You buy 12,000 points for $100.
I gotta jump in.
So he was buying points, I guess, for his characters and stuff. That's all they have. They have nothing else but points.
Wait. What the hell was he buying for $8,000?
He had to do this about
I'm sorry.
If it's $100 for 12,000 points, do the math.
Man, it's not even like 2K.
I'm
You can
sorry.
buy shoes and shit like that. Like, what are you buying?
Oh, yeah, hold on. I'm jumping in right here. What the hell was he buying for $8,000?
That means he could have bought 12,000 points 80 times.
Was that hidden character? Did it just he quit something like that? I don't know. And then on second point, whoop his ass.
Yes.
Now here's the thing.
Where is the discipline
him
from father to son?
Oh my god, my kid would did that. I would beat him. Oh my god, I'll beat him within a centimeter of his life.
Thank you.
Bank, bro.
His ass would have been red.
Don't they
Yeah, his bank
after paying a certain
credit card company.
Yeah, all right. Time out. Hold up, one at a time. I wanted Playboy to weigh in on this because he and I have something in common. Like my sister, my youngest sister, her Xbox Live account was linked to mine. As soon as she went to Rutgers University, you know what she did? Alex, I want my own account. I was like, oh my gosh, like she just like ditched me, man. Like, you know, but now her account is separate from mine. It's like it's not a custodial account anymore. So she's doing her own thing with it. And you know, it's about teaching them and being responsible. Goken can tell you the culture we come from, there's a lot of discipline. A lot of discipline. His dad and my dad is my dad's younger brother, and you know, our grandfather was not about that nonsense. Like structure, discipline. This guy who went and bailed out his son for $7,625.88, bailed him out, did not teach him consequence. My youngest sister, like, you know, she's gonna be 19 soon, right? She understands consequence. I taught this to her early. So with that, that's the wrong answer. But Playboy, I wanted you to, you know, beating somebody within a centimeter of their life. But you know, your thoughts on this?
I was, that's why I was so quiet. I was reading it. This is utter garbage. I'm telling you, you know, my son knows better. He has and I monitor it, even though he's going to be leaving me this year. He has his own checking account, his own debit card, and he has like a $500 or is it $1,000? I think it's $1,000 secured credit card from USAA. So, and I teach him the importance of credit, of money management. You know, using your money wisely. You know, when don't be an impulse buyer, like someone said before. Like, you know, I'm guilty of that too. I am an impulse buyer. I swear to God, Amazon is the devil. Amazon is the devil. Amazon
Steam is the devil. I don't even have a gaming PC, and I have $150 worth of Steam games.
I got you beat. I have a gaming PC, and I have one of your games are on sale for $5.99. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Quickly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quickly. Next thing you know, damn, I spent $60 in like one day on a Friday night.
You mean 30 minutes?
Yes.
I buy Jordans when they come out. So
yeah, but yeah, like I said, you know, this like if oh my God, you know what to be honest with you, would be for real. If that was my kid, you know, I like I said, I would have beat him within an inch of his life, but I would have paid the $8,000. I would have like, you know what, it's just
no, not you pay the $8,000. Make him work to pay it off. Like but you know, But when you have kids, Alex, you'll understand. I know, I understand it. My father is looking down from heaven and said, if you would have done that, boy, I would have killed you. Mm-hmm.
I know.
All right, go ahead, Demizzle.
Go ahead.
Just as a quick caveat, I don't think he purchased the 12,000 points 80 times. I think 80 times. I think he purchased the $4.99 500 points 1,600 times.
Dude, he was going for it. He was going for
because I just calculated it out. If you purchase their 500 point pack for $4.99, You have to purchase that shit a little over 1,600 times to get $8,000 worth.
Here's my thing.
Hey,
Wait a minute. Noob stupid. Wait a minute. Nobody sent him a balance statement saying, "Hey, these are being," you
That's
know.
what I'm saying, bro. Every time I make a purchase on PSN or Xbox, it send me a damn email saying you did
the
this.
time it took though, because when he went to pay his credit card bill, he should have seen it. So he must have did it within a month.
Man, but you know what?
And most credit cards, if you make an online purchase, if you register your credit card online, you get like a text alert or an email. I know I do with all my credit cards.
I do
too. American Express. You know, boom, transaction made without card present. You know, something like that. I'm like, oh, you know, I was like, okay. You know,
Every time I make a purchase with my debit card, I have it linked to my cell phone, so I get a text message.
Yeah.
And like that shit goes off when I'm standing in line. I just get the Mario theme like,
Or usually we get the shrinking sound when Mario gets hit after a mushroom. Yeah. So, but I mean, did everybody get a chance to weigh in on this? And what are your thoughts on how, in comparison to Sony, like Sony had a legitimate case on their hands, and they stood their ground. Microsoft actually was in the right and caved in. You know what I mean?
I think you said that wrong. Sony did not have a legitimate case on their hands.
No, okay, what I meant to say, Sony was in the wrong. It was a fraudulent charge that they were unwilling to work with this user, right? Microsoft was in the right. Like, the FIFA people, they were in the right. Yet, they caved in. You know what I mean? Like, anybody want to respond to that? And it's not me trying to start a flame war, but the facts were there. Like, I actually had the 2 articles. I'll put them in the link in the description below. But, like, look at how Microsoft and Sony handled that. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't.
Like, damn. Like, oh, I would have beat the
Yes.
I would have been beating them 8,000 times.
Alrighty. So, you know what?
Sore ass.
Whoa, hold up. Wait. You heard what Takuma said?
You know those videos that McJuggernuggets did with the Psycho Dad and breaking his Xbox and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That would have been true to life in terms of that kid, Joe. For real.
Well, hey, he ain't gonna be seeing console gaming for a while, but
his room would have been straight empty, nothing but freaking some damn prison clothes, and that's it. That's all you get.
Dress him up like Cody. He's just like
exactly. He would all curl like Cody.
Dang. All right, so New Gaming Order. We're bringing this topic to an end. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on newgamingorder.com for the latest and greatest gaming news. Shout out to our partner, Fullscreen, for assisting us in our growth. And 2016 is going to be a big year for this company. Make sure to also tune in to Thumb Thrasher Gaming and Free Play Mode, who are partners. Like, we all had humble beginnings together, but it's always good to see spin-off groups doing their own thing. All right, so with that, we're going to go into our final segment, the PSA, so stay tuned for that. Peace.
I would have beat the living dog shit out of him.
$8,000.
I'm sorry, eight grand? Do you know what I could do with $8,000?
Man, bro.
$8,000? You know that's a car.
Thank you. It's a car? A trip?
That's a trip?
Buying them FIFA points, yo. His team must be the best in the world.
Right, he better be number 1 on that fucking game.
Let me tell you, that's why microtransactions are terrible, man. That was terrible. There's no way. They opened the vulnerability, and then the guy went into CBC News in Canada and is out there, like, thrashing, like, console gaming. You know what I mean? But not just console gaming, but gaming in general. And it makes like a negative stigma in the PR, image of what gamers do. You know what I mean? So, like, Khalif had said many podcasts ago that, some of the people in the adult world think it's still a child's thing. You know what I mean? And it's frowned upon, but, man, that didn't help the cause. All he did was pass the buck off. He was the one that messed up. And, didn't want to hold his son accountable. Make his ass get a job. go flipping burgers or doing whatever, and pay him back.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, blaming the console generation or whatever. And Playboy, me and you, our generation are now the parents, right? And some of our generation is I don't know. They're the ones really messing it up. But you see,
exactly.
You having raised your own, me raising my sister, like we don't fit into that category. But just in general, man, parental guidance is a must. It's a must. You can't have video games be a babysitter. TV can't be a babysitter.
That's a brass train set for me.
Unbelievable.
Dude, that's like a year's worth of rent and then some for me.
You know how much of a mortgage it would have cut off on this house? Goodness gracious.
If I got married again, that would have been the great.
But, all right, so guys, we're doing the last portion of PSAs. Anybody have anything that they want to put into the Discord before we get started? Because this will be pretty quick, and we're just going to shut everything down at this point.
I might have to take the last PSA on the political tip of the whole Bundy thing.
All right, so yeah, everybody will do one or two, and then we'll because now Nelson's not on the product for the time being. This is how I always wanted it. Everybody bring their piece of news, and we shut it down. All right, so we're gonna go live in 3, 2, 1. New Gaming Order. We are back for our PSAs and our podcast wrap up. I wanted to go first actually and talk about those of you who have not participated in the beta for Street Fighter V. This is the final beta 4. If you have gift codes and want to get your friends involved in it, I was able to give codes to Demizel and to Shinwar. So if you're generous and you want to help somebody out to get on that beta, is going on now.
That's on PC. You got the code?
Yes, on PC. So with that, also the trailer for the game modes for Street Fighter V has been put out there, and the cool thing with that, the standard stuff with replay modes, looking for players, following folks, and whatnot. I think I have the trailer somewhere here. So let me minimize this. Alright. Give me 1 second. So what we got in the trailer, it looks like pretty much now, they got Fang. They're showing, what's that? You got a tutorial mode, which you got in the background right now. And that's kind of similar to Killer Instinct, But I think that in general, they should have had this type of mode to begin with in Street Fighter overall. But for the staff that hasn't seen it, you can actually see it in the stream right now. But the arcade mode will have stills. They won't have the CG cinematics going forward. But in the June update, you'll get the full story mode, and it should be some interesting stuff. Now, also, what I did notice, when you unlock certain features, you get rewarded for playing. So you beat the story mode or survival mode, you get colors, you get outfits, and then you build up the fight money, unlock the stuff, and you're good to go. So
my fight money.
Yeah, I think with that, it's gonna be interesting. And with what we were talking about with the Division portion of this podcast, Street Fighter V seems open for the next 5 years for updates, yearly balance tweaks, and outfits, stages, things of that nature. So if anybody that's looking forward to Street Fighter wants to weigh in on that before I give someone else the floor, you're more than welcome to.
They have totally ripped off Killer Instinct's model.
This is indeed true. But can you give specifics, Demizel?
Oh, damn. Do we have that much time?
Well, we got to condense it because we got 10 minutes left.
Well, the V trigger is obviously instinct mode. Then you got the addition of the storyline. added as free DLC. Then you've got just like earning colors as you go along in survival mode and racking up points. It's just like everything. They've just shifted to a straight up Killer Instinct model.
Hey, I didn't realize that until now.
Well, yeah, this is indeed true. They've done it, but I mean, that kind of helps Killer Instinct because they set a standard that people are copying off of. Same thing with MKX and the story mode and how Capcom, we know Street Fighter is the godfather of fighting games, right? So they're gonna have to adopt things to stay competitive with the other folks that made a dent. So MK, Killer Instinct, they do things well. They're gonna adopt it into their own, different spin of things. So, that's all I got. But Demizo, you got any PSAs?
Well, originally I was gonna go political with this, but I decided not to. If you turn into Maximilian's stream on YouTube, he is currently hosting the Killer Instinct World Cups happening in Austin, Texas today and tomorrow.
Hey,
And they are releasing footage and information on Killer Instinct Season 3. So head on over there after you finish watching our podcast and check it out. Because if you're a Killer Instinct fan like I am, definitely want to see what's coming down the pipe for Season 3. And Maximilian is officially working on Season 3 of Killer Instinct, so it'll be interesting to see what he comes up with.
And I will have to say that I took a break from Killer Instinct for a while, and then I came back with the updates. It feels a little different. Like I gotta get used to the game again. Especially with Hisako, I was blowing people up with her, and then now folks are with the tutorial on how to do counters and such. I find it a little more difficult to achieve victory. So I'm gonna have to get into the lab for Street Fighter 5 and Killer Instinct. So. Yeah, with that, Kasemi, what any PSAs that you want to share with the podcast before we log off?
Nah, man. It's good to be back, man. Just glad.
Good to be black.
Games. Oh yeah,
it's always good to be black.
Yeah,
that's right.
Man. Yes, sir. Nah, man, it's been good, man. It's been good, man.
All right, hey, welcome back, man. And then during the week. Let me know what days are better for you. I can do specials like me and Shinwar do them for Street Fighter 5 and a couple other things. So yeah, just hit me up on Facebook, man.
All right.
All right, cool. Goken, any PSAs for the group?
Not any particular PSA, but a quick question for anybody. What do you think with Street Fighter 5? Should we be as we discussed earlier, should we be buying the physical copy of Street Fighter 5 on the PS4 versus buying the digital download on the PC?
Well, I messed up and got the digital on both PC and PS4. It was for this damn show. It's for this damn show. I had to have
on physical PS4.
Yeah. So I'm almost tempted to buy the physical PS4 and still get the digital one on the PC.
Okay.
I wonder. For the audience, what's your feedback?
I think that with the physical disc, it would be better considering that you got the collector's edition on
where it gets hairy, right? Is the season pass thing, right? Isn't that
it's a one-time $30 thing, I think, depending.
Yeah, which is fine, but it's hairy because those characters won't be on the disc, correct?
Well, they're using the Unreal Engine, unlike before they were using the engine developed by Dimps. So I don't know how they're gonna do the rollout with it, but I don't think the characters are on there because those who are data mining, they can look and see if the stuff is in there, and none of the other characters are in there except for their names.
All right, so maybe we are just better off getting digital then.
Yeah. So
if you can get the physical, it's always good. Just as for GP.
Yeah.
Wait. He said when he gets physical, it's always good. What?
I'll wait a couple of weeks and get it used or something like that.
All right, that seems to work. All right.
Yeah, but the collector's edition looks so nice. You get the book. You get
I had a bad experience with Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge, collectors, whatever, and my action figures broke and all that. I'm not doing that again. Negative. I was mad. Oh, what the heck? But
give me the game.
yeah. All right. So, brother Noop, any PSAs?
Nope. A couple upcoming games. Mega Man Legacy Collection is coming out on the 23rd of this month. I'm about to go reserve it.
On what console?
It's already out. Isn't that already out? That's already out.
Nah, it comes out on the 23rd. I'm getting a new Hitman game, comes out in March. The collector's edition is awesome. You actually get the Hitman, you get his tie, and you get a statue of the Hitman sitting in a chair, throwing the silencer on the. That joint looks hot. I'm about to go reserve that as well.
No, when you get it, wait.
I gotta cut in here. So the packing item for the game is a fucking tie.
No, and the character. You get a statue of Agent 47 sitting in the office chair.
A fucking tie.
Can you wear it?
Hey,
Shut up, yo. Shut up.
You get to wear the tie?
Oh my god. And Noop is gonna be on Facebook wearing that tie, looking like the Kingpin.
I put it in the Discord. You can see it now.
Hold up.
Street Fighter came with a headband and a t-shirt. So
Oh my god.
Fucking
Let me
tie.
Let me ask somebody
hey,
wearing it.
it's not any tie. It's an assassin.
Yo, that tie's pretty fly though, bro.
Wait a minute. Are you for
Okay,
real?
when it's an interview, watch what happens.
Oh my gosh. I got it on the stream right now. What the heck? And why is Demizo like an effing tie? What the heck?
Dude, are video games like just picking up items from the sharper image now? I'm like, yeah, you gotta pack this in, son.
But wait a minute. In all fairness, remember Resident Evil had that $550 bomber jacket that came with it, or
But
something?
that was like a jacket. That was like a full-fledged jacket.
But that was a lot of money,
This
bro.
is like a $5 tie.
Nah, bro. Nah.
It's not just the tie, man. The statue is what it's all. But the tie just ties in with
It better.
Hey, when I get it and I do the unboxing, I'm gonna have a suit on and I'm gonna put that tie on.
Oh,
And
no,
guess what? You know what?
not, yo.
If
better not.
if you do that, you better stream it so I can clown you on it.
I am.
All right.
I'm gonna shave my head bald too.
The Hitman special.
What? Don't do that, Noob. Don't do
I'm
that.
gonna shave my head bald for the Hitman unboxing.
You're gonna look like Mr. Popo when you're done. Dang. Oh shoot. Oh man. You know what? This is for that Locks and Styles P and all that stuff from that one show a couple of years ago. Yo, he got me good. That joke was funny though.
That was a bit of a low blow just now though, Mr. Popo.
No. You know, I'm sorry. My bad. They gave an order.
I'm gonna sing you something that's gonna make you laugh, yo, on YouTube.
Alright, that's cool. Alright, NYC Playboy and Shintakuma. Any PSAs before we shut down?
Yeah, I just wanna throw out there that I want to plan a get together for all of us in the spring when the weather is nice.
Let's go to Vegas.
So, come on now.
I know.
I'm amenable to that. Vegas, yes. I rather prefer Malta, but since let's keep it local. Since most of us live on the East Coast ish,
Except for Tabuma.
I can still come to NYC or Jersey.
Okay.
Don't come over here. Don't come over here. Alright, good.
Hold up. Oh yeah, I just want to plan us a get together. I mean, we've been doing this for a while now. Just let's have a get together. Bring whoever. We'll sit down, have a big dinner. A nice outing, a party. So just for the fellas. And Alex's lady.
All right. And she's very supportive of this show. I have a good woman with me. And I want to add, hanging out with NYC Playboy when he was in the area, man, had a good time, like a brother, man, good people. So, Shinwar, the rest of the group, Project Justice, Nelson, those who can make it, hey, we'll set it up. We'll set it up.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
And Takuma, anything you want to add?
I do. I got something personal, and this is just for people that's on the stream, for you guys. It's just the fact that it's just but it's also a message, just like no matter what you're going through in life, just keep on fighting. What you guys didn't know is about 6 or 7 months ago, me and other family members were involved in. Not involved. I said that we did it, we didn't, and everything else was not. We were involved in kind of like a heavy legal battle, dealing with some type of connection between financial crime and fraud. And yeah, I end up. It was like October. There was a warrant out for my arrest, so I had to end up turning myself in. But this is how God is awesome. Because when I did all this, I had to put all my faith and trust in Him, and I was moving, and I couldn't get a job because of the pending charges and everything else.
Damn, that's
so.
What the heck?
Yeah, so I had to go turn myself in. I had to drive from Texas to Chicago to go do this because I'm not sure the legal statutations of getting arrested here, being transported. I didn't want to go through all that madness. I got on the I-bond. Now, I have no money and no. So I got a public defender who was awesome, by the way, and I got his car and everything else.
That's rare that they're good.
Yeah.
It's rare.
Fought the case. Now, the thing about it is, this all happened in Chicago. Chicago and their attorney general and everything else not was thinking that I wasn't going to fight my case. I was just going to say, oh, okay, I'll do whatever to get rid of this way. No, what they failed to realize is that I'm a veteran and I'm a Marine. I'm gonna fight.
Wait, yeah, say it again because it cut out for a second.
I'm a veteran and a former United States Marine.
Semper Fi, baby. Semper Fi.
So they thought I wasn't actually gonna fight my case. So they was making all these other phone calls and everything else to figure out why is this young man fighting this case. Well, why not? Okay. So just last Tuesday, I just had my court case, and trust and believe, they threw everything at me. Everything from freaking where I lived at in California, where this alleged car was at, and the time I was in Chicago and everything else and whatnot. The judge took all this evidence, and he said, you guys can't place him with the actual car or receiving this car, whatever else was not. Found my case, not guilty. I'm free and clear.
You know what? Bravo,
Hallelujah.
man.
Amen, brother.
Hallelujah.
So
Hey.
now I officially got my life back after being 5 months without trying to go find a job. I was afraid to actually go apply for one because of what they found my background. So it's just a personal PSA. Like, no matter what you're going through, keep fighting.
And you know what? Not to put anyone on blast, to my co-creator of New Gaming Order, listen to that message. No matter how bad things are getting, if Timothy could get through it, you can get through it too, man. We got your back.
Trust me, it was some times I'm like, you know what, F this. It got really hard for me one day where I wasn't gonna be on no more podcast. That's how bad it was. I was like, no, I can't go out that way. I gotta keep fighting. So.
And you know what? Positive message of the day. We don't do that often enough. So we're gonna try and end off on a positive note like that. You know what? And you're blessed, man. And God had you in favor.
Yes, you are.
Good stuff.
I'm telling you, especially in today's climate, with dealing with brothers today, man. Shit.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, but you know what?
I gotta ask one question of Newt. Why'd you post that video of yourself laughing in the dark in the
That's
Discord?
not me.
Hold up.
I did that. That's not me, yo.
Oh my god. Oh
Did you see that?
Oh, I'm looking at it right now. Oh my fucking
You know
God.
what? Let me put this on the director's
You know
cut.
what?
New Gaming Order. We'll see you guys next week.
Nope, I would take that down.
That's not me.
Dude, no.
Wait. All right, now we're in director's cut. What the hell is going on?
That's not me. I just that has been circulating on Facebook for a while. Since you like,
Why?
All right.
it's
What?
hilarious.
The white in his eyes. Oh my god.
I wanna laugh too.
Oh my goodness! Just look at it like
Yo, y'all bad. What the heck?
He looked like Mr.
Yes.
You know what, Noop? You going straight to hell on a scholarship for that shit. You know that?
Oh, he said on a scholarship though. Dang.
Yo, that is hilarious though.
All
I
right.
was like, making all these black jokes, I might as well roll with it. I ain't got nothing today.
You said whack
Hold on,
jokes?
What's coming in with the Street Fighter? I'm sorry, no, but the Mega Man Legacy Collection. How many games? Yeah, how many games gonna be in there?
Yeah, I'll catch you guys later. I'm out.
All right. Hey, thanks again, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
All right. Yeah, on last minute notice.
Man, shit.
Yeah, 1 o'clock is the cutoff. Like this way.
6 original games.
Okay.
And they have a DS version because I know you get DS. I know you have a DS.
You said you're spitting BS. What?
Shut up! I'm talking about getting this Resident Evil Origins collection today. Hold on.
You know what? No comment. All right, guys. So
See y'all later.
yeah, I'm gonna go walk my dog. All right, take care, guys.
All right.
All right, peace.
About to go.
All right, show complete. I know I was loud as hell.